Come down. Ooh, you make my high come down. Always tripping when you come around. Never have to cut you out like right now. You see, I don't have to drive me. You can say that for your mama. Maybe you should smoke some. Me try the marijuana. I was never you good. The vibe was straight. Showed you a couple of things and they feel strange. I treated you right. Everything was a gift from a time to your bag and the color on your lip.
Welcome to a special edition of Seahawks Man to Man, a YouTube exclusive. My name is Michael-Shawn You guys can follow me on whatever Elon Musk is calling that app these days. My @ name has not changed. It is also at the bottom of the screen at Mike Dugar, MikeDugar. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button while you're here. Really appreciate it. Thank you for all that love and support, and do the same thing. We'll share some clips from this episode on TikTok and on Instagram. Seahawks Man to Man is the name of the handle. Seahawks Man, the number 2 man, same thing as the YouTube channel. Thank you. Chris, go ahead and talk to him.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Christopher Kidd. You can follow me on Twitter at CKIDD206, and that's CKid206. You can also catch me on Blue Sky, excuse me. But thanks for the new company that is Blue Wire that helps us out here. But yes, Blue Sky as well, the new Twitter. Less porn bots, more content, more good content that I'm interested in. So sign me up for that. But as Mike alluded to, it's that new time for Standout Plays. So Mike and I scour the film, finding, oh, wow, you know what? After watching the film, this specific player stood out to me, or a couple of plays here and there from that game against the Cardinals with the Seahawks won 16-6. So without further ado, Mike, I'll just steal the shine and go first. How's that sound?
That's fine. You reminded me I got to create my Blue Sky account, so I'll do that here.
Fair enough.
No, I'll be listening, by the way. But yes.
No, you're good. You're good.
I forgot I was supposed to do that this week. I've been busy. Go ahead.
All
Who you
good.
got this week? Who's our standout this week?
Oh, it's quite simple for me. After watching the film, he didn't have the statistics. He didn't have the numbers that say, wow, he played really good football. But when you go back and you rewatch the film, and you're sitting in silence and you're watching why these plays happen and what player was doing what. I know Leonard Williams, number 99, was dominant, and he mentioned it in his presser a few days ago in stating that I think I played my best game of the season, or of his career, with how the dominant performance he had on that defensive line, getting pressure, getting sacks, getting tackles for loss. He was an animal. But another player, again, he didn't have the statistics, but his presence was felt. And that is number 91, Byron Murphy. I thought when I went back and watched the film, he just immediately caught my eye just with his ability to stuff the run, playing his gap, and just doing his job. Something that Leonard Williams also spoke about a month ago after a tough loss when they couldn't stop the run for the most part. I forget which game it was, but he talked about everyone trying to do a little bit too much. And now you can see with this run defense, they are doing things just right. Everyone is doing their job. And this first play that I have on the screen here, it is a run where they're trying to get to the right. And Byron Murphy ends up being double teamed. And you can see that he handles the double well, because in this scenario, he is doubled by, I want to say, the left guard and the center is supposed to climb and go and block Tyrese Knight. But because Byron Murphy blows it up for the most part, it's only a 2-yard gain. And Devin Witherspoon, who was, you don't see him on the screen, but he's all the way to the left side of this video, he is able to knife in and make the play. So I'm going to go ahead and roll it so you guys can see what I just alluded to. And for all intents and purposes, I'll give you the background of the formation because I don't have it as a wide view. I kind of want to just get right into it and show you the impact Byron Murphy is making on the line as a defensive tackle. So the Cardinals offense on this specific play, again, as you can't see the full wide version of it, you just see the back end view of it. You have 2 wide receivers and 2 tight ends. So that's going to be 12 personnel. And the Seahawks are in their base defense. So they got a lot of big guys on the field. Okay. So as I said, I'm going to roll it here. We'll get it going. And it's a straight handoff right to the right. Now, if I pause it right here, as you can see, Byron Murphy stands the center up and the guard up. He does a really good job of standing tall and everyone does their job. Look at how it's handled. A hat on a hat. You see that Byron Murphy number 91 is doubled, and then you see number 98. He has position. So if I'm not mistaken, I believe Connor's supposed to come in that lane between number 98 and 91. But that space is being filled very well by number 98. And number 98, for those that don't know, that is, why am I drawing a blank? That is Roy Robertson Harris. So he does a really good job of just doing his job. And in this scenario, James Conner is going to have to bounce it outside. And when he bounces outside, you'll see Spoon come in. But again, I want to back it up a little bit because I'm really impressed about how Byron Murphy attacks this. So at the snap, we'll see, bam, look at that knee. So he gets his knee down on the ground to give himself some leverage, and he is powering through. And I love how low he gets because he is able to disrupt the center from getting upfield and going at number 48, Tyrese Knight, to clear the way for a running lane. So I'm going to continue rolling it. He's able to fight through it, and he doesn't get a stat for that. That's not something that's going to be recognized and say, oh, Byron Murphy did a phenomenal job of taking on a double team, not allowing number 63, or that's not the center, excuse me, number 63, the right guard, to get up field and climb. He does a really good job of taking care of that. And then, as you can see, Spoon with an incredible tackle, getting off a tight end block, if I'm not mistaken, and making a play, or getting off a wide receiver block and making a play for only 2-yard gain. So it really starts with number 91. Again, you can watch him here from this angle and watch how dominant and strong he is. Boom, handles that very well. And then Mafe does his job, sets the edge, doesn't get outside. Because I'll show you later on in a pass rush scenario where Boye gets a little too far ahead, even though Byron does a phenomenal job at pass rushing. But I don't want to jump too far ahead in that regard. But again, number 91 just really dominant in the run fit here, and it's really impressive to watch. Takes on the center very well, handles the guard, doesn't allow him to climb, takes him out, and then you have your guys on the outside making a play. That's textbook. That's all you could ask for in regards to doing your job, playing your run fit, and handling business. This second play here, this is an option. So before the snap, I don't have the wide angle again, but Kyler Murray, when I roll it, you'll see that he's looking at the edge, and that'll be number 58. Because if he crashes down, guess what Kyler's going to do? He is going to keep the ball and run it outside. If he stands pat and Derek Hall is able to, he doesn't fall for it, he stays put, you're going to hope that your D-line does their part, and Tyrese Knight is able to knife in, and it's a decision-making time. You either hand it off to your running back or Kyler keeps it. So in this scenario, I thought Byron Murphy, yet again, does a phenomenal job. Derek Hall does a great job of not attacking inside, allowing space for Kyler Murray to break outside. Everyone does a really good job. If I'm not mistaken, I know Mike Macdonald has alluded to this a lot. All 11 are doing their job. And in this scenario, it's all 11. So in this one, again, I don't give you the wide view, but it is 11 personnel. The Cardinals come out with 3 wide receivers, number 14, 18, and number 4, Greg Dortch, I believe is his name. And then the Seahawks, they actually go nickel in here. So they have Kobe on the field, Devin Witherspoon, Reek Woolen, Josh Jobe, and who am I forgetting? Julian Love. So they got their nickel package out there. Ernest Jones is your linebacker, and Derek Hall is the outside linebacker and middle linebacker, Tyrese Knight. Then you got your 4 down linemen. So as we roll this play, you'll see, okay, at the snap, you see how he's looking directly at number 58, because that's going to determine if I keep it as a quarterback and or hand it off. But let's now focus our eyes on number 91 at the center of the screen here at the hash. Watch what he does. So I love this. He is patient. He doesn't do too much. He does his job. So right now, he is leveraging himself, and he's basically throwing the lineman away. Like, hey, I know where I'm supposed to be, and I'm going to get there. So as I roll it, he just moves the offensive tackle out of the way and is able to wrap up the ball carrier. And you get it again from this angle. As you can see, I'll pause it. So you see he's lined up over the center and the left guard. So he has that gap. That's his responsibility. Tyrese Knight has the next gap. And then you have Derek Hall, number 58. He has his responsibility of setting the edge and not getting inside. Because if he gets inside, Kyler can keep it. And if number 85 blocks number 20, Julian Love, it could be a big game, because all Kyler has to do is make one guy miss in this scenario if the block is not made on the furthest defender outside, which I believe is a corner. I want to say it's Josh Jobe. But nonetheless, we're going to roll it and watch again. Byron Murphy, bang. It's a keep. Byron Murphy sees, okay, I have leverage here. Let me get back to the inside here. And he wraps him up for a small gain. Just perfect defense from Byron Murphy. And he's been doing this for the most part all season. Outside of he missed a few weeks with injuries, but this is what they wanted him to do, and he is doing a phenomenal job in doing it. It is textbook. He does his job, stands up the tackle, and it's beautiful. What more could you ask for? Magnificent. I love seeing it on tape. And again, when I went back and watched the film, it was really impressive to see just how much he's grown, how confident he is, how strong he is, and he's able to make another tackle for a minimum gain. And that's textbook. That's all you could ask for from your defensive lineman, making sure your linebackers are able to get up there and clean up, because that's what you want. D-line to make space for your linebackers. But in this scenario, Byron was like, I got it. Not a problem. And this last one, this is a pass rush. And you remember on the first play I mentioned, if I'm not, no, actually it wasn't the first play, this previous play, but it's about pass rush. So this is a pressure, and this is in the fourth quarter with 50 seconds left. So you can imagine everyone's probably really gassed, but Byron Murphy doesn't give up. Obviously, the game is out of hand. It's 16-6. The Seahawks know they won the game unless a miracle happens, but Byron Murphy gives maximum effort, and you'd want your edge guys not to crash in as much. You want them to stay in their lanes, because Byron Murphy does such a good job of pushing his guy right into Kyler's lap that if the edge dude just stays outside, you get a sack because he's bottled up. But because our edge defender on the right goes really, really far outside, it allows a lane for Kyler to escape, and he ends up making a pretty good throw. And Draymond Jones, I think he just got a little excited and wanted to make a play with a little time left. So as I roll it here, you'll watch number 91 get really good pressure and just backing up the offensive tackle. And my apologies for not mentioning, the Seahawks here went dime, so they went 6 DBs. You have Kobe, Devin, Reek, Josh Jobe, Rayshon Jenkins, and Julian Love. Basically, they got their best coverage guys out there against the wide receivers, and they come out with 11 personnel with number 14, 17, Marvin Harrison, number 18, and obviously Trey McBride, their tight end, number 85. So again, let's just go ahead and roll it. I know I don't have the full view, but you'll get a glimpse of exactly what I'm talking about with Byron Murphy's pressure. So as the snap goes, instantly pressure. As you can see, he's just shoving. And look how the pocket is collapsing. It looks really good. Like right now, this is exactly what you would want. This looks great. Derek Hall is on his lane. He's doing a really good job of just pushing back and having an eye on Kyler. Jay Reed's doing his job, one-on-one. Byron doing his job. And then Draymond, so far, he's doing his job. But as we roll it, Draymond gets a little too far outside, and it looks like maybe Derek Hall does too, because right now this could potentially be a sack if on the right-hand side, Draymond just stands pat. But he gets a little far inside. Byron Murphy stepping up, as he should. He's pushing him right into his lap, just make the play, and he's able to squirt free, dance around. Oh, gotcha. And he's able to make a play downfield. Those are just the little things that I think Draymond can get better at and help this defense, because Aaron Rodgers, he's still got it. I don't know how much movement he can do, but in this scenario, as you can see again, Byron pushes number 62 right into his lap. Like, that's perfect. He can see him. It's all going really well. If Draymond Jones just stays in his lane, in his area, either he'll get the sack or Byron Murphy's going to just swallow him, tackle him right then and there. That's pretty much the ball game, but he doesn't. Kyler's able to step through. As you can see here, Byron's not going to be able to make that play. He's just too shifty. Kyler Murray's too shifty and just throws a dime. So, again, really good pressure from Byron Murphy, and it goes back to all 11 guys, and including the D-line, doing their part. Their pass rush lane, staying in them, and keeping a guy like Kyler boxed in so they can make a tackle, make a sack on a play like this late in the game. So, again, this is the fourth quarter, 51 seconds. Really good pressure by Byron Murphy. Just gets away, and Kyler makes an incredible throw. But that's what elite quarterbacks or really good quarterbacks can do in this league when you overcompensate on doing your job. So those are my 3 standout plays from the Seahawks win 16-6 over the Cardinals. Again, I thought Byron Murphy, I know the stats didn't say it. I think he only had maybe 2 tackles and he had 2 tackles and I think just the pressure. So again, the stats don't pop out and say anything in that regard, but when I went back and watched the film, he just was far more impactful than I think a lot of people might have realized. So that's why I went with Byron Murphy as my standout player from Week 12 against the Cardinals.
I have myself muted there. Shout out Murph. Again, yeah, he did have a good game. Yeah, really good. They were all good. We could have picked anybody.
True.
No, they were good, man. They were nails, you know. Thought Reek had some good plays. Job too. Anyway, I'm gonna go with someone very similar theme actually, who didn't have a ton of splash plays in this game, like Spoon did or Kobe or Leonard, but played really well, and that's Julian Love. Let's start with let's see. Actually, I'm gonna roll this. And Chris, can you throw me on the screen here? Actually, all right. I'm gonna roll this while I'm breaking this down. I'm gonna just roll this. The reason I want to talk about Julian first, before breaking down each of these plays, is I talked about on my one big thing. Go check out that episode. It's on our YouTube channel, but it's also on every audio platform as well. I talked about in my one big thing, Kobe Bryant, how he is perhaps an example of what they hired Mike Macdonald for. Like, obviously, it was to get the most out of everybody, but they really hired him to like take like our non-star players for the most part, so to speak, and really make them dudes, you know, like you did in Baltimore with the Matabukes, the Brandon Stevens, the Geno Stones. Obviously, Kyle Hamilton's a dude, and Roquan Smith was already a dude before he showed up. But like guys like Patrick Queen, Geno Stone, Brandon Stevens, there were so many guys who were just like okay, and or like decent players, and then they had like the best years of their career either in 2022 or 2023 or both. And part of the thinking when hiring him, among other things, was all right, do that up here because we got good players. We obviously have some star power. I'm saying we like the Seahawks mindset. They already felt like they had star power, but it was also like, all right, we have some other guys who, if we could just get a little more out of them, man, we could really have something special. And I highlighted Kobe Bryant as one of those players. And honestly, you could probably throw Julian Love in that as well. You know, like Julian's a good safety. Not he's not like considered like top 10, but he obviously doesn't like stink. Like, kind of middle of the pack. His contract, I think, pays him like a top 15 guy or something. So the contract reflects kind of where he stands too. But what Mike Macdonald's done is put him in a position to really make plays. And I thought that stood out in this game. So let's start with this play. I'm working a little bit out of order from the game itself. Gotta forgive me for that. Like this play is from the fourth quarter. Sorry that we're starting here. But I think it's just simple zone. Doesn't really matter. Just a boot concept and stuff that we've seen the Seahawks kind of get beat on, particularly in the division when they've played the Niners and when they've played the Rams, boot action stuff, really cooking them. And with the Cardinals in this one, they boot it to the far side of the field. And they actually have it played really well. They have it played to the point where it's probably not going to be a first down. And this is 1st and 10. Yeah, 1st and 10. Play action boot here. So I'm going to roll it and pause a little bit. So, yeah, we got the fake. And then we've got Mafe. All right, cool. I see it's a fake. I got the backside of this if it's a run. If the collar pulls it, go. Right. And then we have receiver coming across, a tight end. Think that's McBride coming into the flat, something we've seen a ton against the Seahawks. And if they play it just normally, like we got our backers kind of behind it, but Kobe at like the 40, he's going to make a good play on it either way. Maybe it's a first down, but probably not like a gain of like 5 yards. Okay. The reason it's not, though, as you can see, let's watch Julian here. Julian's up at the top of the screen to the short side of the field, but just watch him come all the way across and make this play. Like, this is really good. Gets through the traffic, and Trey has just nowhere to run on this. Thought it's really good tackle because Tyrese is like trailing this a little bit, and that's who my backer is here in this. Yeah, it is. It's Tyrese. Like he's behind it, and boom, Julian down. Now again, Kobe's probably gonna make this. Like, just imagine Julian's not here and he turns up. Like Kobe, who's he and Ernest are right there inside the 40. Like they're probably gonna make the tackle, and it's probably just a ho hum 5-6 yard gain, whatever. But you just see the reaction time and the triggering of Julian. It's like, all right, I'm on it, go. Like I just loved his trigger on this, because when you're a veteran safety and you've seen a lot and you know ball at a high level like Julian does, you can just go. Just like, all right, bang, I'm here, I'm going. And then Julian's been a good tackler. I really like that play. It ended up turning to be like a 3-yard gain or something. And as you can see, it probably would have been like 5 or 6, which ain't like the best thing in the world, but Julian makes that minimal, you know, and I thought that was really good. by him. Good trigger, covers a lot of ground, missile, boom. Kind of Earl Thomas like a little bit. It's what we've seen from him a lot. This play, is this the Higgins joint? Yes. All right, this is. This is just a little check down action, little short play. This is on 2nd and 8. And this is a PBU by Julian. So we're going to watch him again, top of the screen. If you notice by the alignment here, the Seahawks are kind of giving away what they're thinking. At least they're showing that they're giving away what they're thinking. You look at how Reek is. Reek's basically like, all right, I'm pressed up right there in the slot. I got this. Boom. At the top of our screen, we got Tyrese Knight. I believe that's against James Conner. So what's that mean? All right, we probably manned up right here, you know? And I think that is what this ends up being when I run it. And look where Julian's at up at the top of the screen. Like, if you're just going to be manned up on the tight end from there, that's a lot. You got a lot of space to cover. And for him to make this play on a PBU on a quick joint, that's really impressive trigger. Just kind of trusting what he's seeing and just letting it fly. So watch Julian as Kyler tries to hit this little short route. Yeah, they are manned up here. Boom. PBU, real quick trigger. I'm gonna run this back. I really like this play. So schematically, what I like, because if you have this ability from Julian, this is huge. So if you can play man out of this, this is great because out of the structure, I mean, because also what you could do in theory is disguise stuff from this. Because like usually you play man if you want Julian manned up on like a tight end or something. You would put him in a situation like Reek is, or even like Tyrese is, where I'm up and it's very obvious what we're doing. Now it's kind of obvious to me what they're doing, but because this is now on film, you could technically, which I bet they'll do against Arizona next time they play them, is show this and then run zone. Like show this and then run like quarters, or maybe probably cover 2 or cover 6 or something like that. To the have a Tyrese basically play like a cover 2 corner type of situation, just confuse the hell out of them because you can do stuff like that if you're able to just basically man up with your safety at depth, which I thought was really good from Jay Love to just drive on this, see it. All right, cool, go, bang. Get the clean PBU, doesn't get there early, which you could do in that situation, which you end up drawing a DPI, which he doesn't. Here's the end zone view of it. You can kind of see a little better of like, all right, look at Kyler's eyes. Kyler wants it now. And Kyler, he got a rifle. Like you can easily get that there for like 5 yards or whatever and set up a short 3rd and manageable. Just a great. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna run this back again. Oh, great play by J Love. And he knows too, it's like, hey, a little later, and that's a pick. But the other reason I like this play too, the down and distance is important. So, like I said, this was third, it's a 2nd and 8, right? So 2nd and 8 snap that we're showing here. I'm just looping it again. The 2nd and 8, and Julian makes it 3rd and 8. If he catches that, that's probably, I don't know, you can get a lot closer. It's gonna be 3rd and manageable. And the difference in the NFL though between 3rd and 8 versus 3rd and 3 or whatever is huge. You got a whole different set of personnel on the field, a whole different play call bag is open. You know, you're a little bit limited in your calls if you're the defense. It's just a world of difference. And the way you get to those 3rd and 8 sometimes is by a simple PBU like that on 2nd and 8. So loved again the trigger, the athleticism, trusting what you're seeing, and making a clean play on the ball. Like Julian had a really good game. Look at it, love the celebration there. This is, as you can tell by where everyone is lined up, this is 3rd and 1,000,000. Let me get the down distance right. All right, this is 3rd and 13 in the 2nd quarter. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going backwards a little bit. Like that last play was from like the 1st quarter. We're going backwards, but this is 3rd and 1,000,000. This is the same personnel grouping that Chris had in one of his plays. This is our dime look. I keep saying our and we. Chris, remind me to stop doing that. I ain't on the team. They ain't paying me. Well, we got the dime look here. Rayshon Jenkins is back deep. So is Kobe. They got pretty much every DB they're rostering on the field. And then Ernest Jones and their 4-man rush package or whatever. So roll this. We see J Love. All right. J Love's our center fielder. You see, he's the one who bails. Everyone else basically sits at the sticks and tries to drive on stuff, make sure Kyler has nowhere to throw. Right. Looks like they even dropped Ernest. So looks like they basically just dropped into cover 3 is what this looks like. But Julian's deep. And as Kyler has to scramble out of the pocket because Leonard Williams just destroys another grown man. Julian just rolling with him, roll with him, follow him. And Kyler has a laser, man. Like I said earlier, Kyler's at 35, trying to make this throw to, who's this? Dortch. Trying to make this throw to Dortch. That's a long way to go. But Kyler's got the arm and the accuracy to do it. But why can't he do it? Because of this freaking closing speed and ball skills by J Love. This reminded me immediately of the interception against the Eagles. So again, J Love center fielder, following Kyler, eyes on Kyler. I love this. Get your hips open, bang, and then you see it go, 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 boom, snatches it from him. Not an interception because he couldn't get his knee down, but it was close. Here's the end zone angle of that same play. This allows me to just show some love to Leonard Williams here because neither Chris nor myself picked him for the standout plays, but that's fine because Leonard has such a big game. It was so obvious that we didn't need to really dive into too much of it. And honestly, Leonard's game looked as good on film as it did in real time. Like it didn't look like better per se because he had the film of it. It was very clear watching the broadcast that he was kicking ass. And his film looked a lot like this. Like this is Leonard against the left guard. Excuse me, sir. Boom. Oh man, that is brutal. Oh, let's watch that again. Because that's why you trade a second round pick and pay this guy $60 million or something like that. Like, come here, sir. Ugh, get down. Oh, that's brutal. All right. So that helps get Kyler out of the pocket, which is good on 3rd and 1,000,000. But like, look at right here. This is what Kyler sees as he's scrambling to the sideline. Again, with Kyler Murray, that's a very completable ball because he's that dude. He can throw on the run, got a strong arm, baseball player, yada, yada, yada. Cool. But as you can see the bottom half of Julian Love, top of the screen, squint a little bit. Watch Julian close this, dog. Bang. Oh my goodness. That is so good. From Leonard, the Giants GM got to hate seeing stuff like this. He gave up Leonard and J Love. Sorry, Joe Shane. But like this is a ball. And if Julian's not there, this is 100% going to be complete unless this dude just has popcorn grease on his hands. But this is probably going to be a completion for a big gain and explosive to put the Cardinals at the 30, which is basically scoring position. This is, again, second quarter. Forget what the score was at the time. But either way, an explosive pass like this would be a problem for your defense, right? And boom, Julian just takes it away from him. I want to show the all 22 before we get out of here again. But yeah, no, Julian was all over the place, man. Very similar, like I said, to what Chris's reasoning for choosing Byron Murphy. Like it's the same thing with J Love. Not a ton of stats. How many tackles did he have? He had 2 tackles and then 2 passes defense. And I'm showing you that one of the tackles and then 2 of the plays on the ball. If you just watch him this whole time, this is really good safety play, really good center field play. Type of stuff Quandre was doing, type of stuff Earl was doing. Like all of these plays that I'm showing are all stuff that we've seen great Seahawks safeties of the last decade plus do, and Julian was able to do them. Doesn't get his foot down here, obviously, but it was 3rd and 1,000,000, so they end up punting anyway. But yeah, I really liked what I saw from Julian on film, man. He was killing it. Leonard was killing it. Kobe, Chris, we could have picked anybody, but Julian, I think, had some plays like that where it was just, oh, okay, you're getting maximized in the scheme. Like we use that type of language sometimes when guys get hired or whatever, and we don't always go into detail on what that looks like. This is what that looks like. Julian able to put in position to make plays everywhere. Play some man, play some zone, play some he can play near the line of scrimmage like he did on that boot action, or he can play deep like he did on the final play. So yeah, shout out to Julian Love. Really stood out when I watched the film, and very similar to Byron Murphy. Julian has been making some plays like this throughout the year. This was just his week. That's all. It was just his week. And I think, Chris, you probably agree. Julian is playing his definitely most consistent ball as a Seahawk right now. He's a little up and down. That first year in the 3rd safety role, sometimes Jamal's hurt, sometimes he's not. Yada yada yada. That was tough last season. This year, though, it is very clear. This is the best and most consistent we've seen him, and it seems like he's another guy you can add to the list of someone Mike Macdonald's scheme is getting a lot out of. Because I asked you for a replay of that near interception during the game. I was like, yo, let me see that. And that was, oh my God, that was so close to being another amazing interception, man. He was balling on Sunday. So I'm glad I got a chance to highlight what he was able to do.
Well, there you have it. Those are the standout plays from Week 12 against the Cardinals. Again, the Seahawks won 16-6. A defensive showdown, as Mike mentioned, could have picked anybody at that point because they all did their job 1 through 11, handled business on the field against the Cardinals. But we appreciate all the love and support, and make sure you're following us on Seahawks Man to Man via Instagram, TikTok. Like Mike said, we'll have content throughout the weekend for you as well. And then after the game on Sunday, so post-game show after the Seahawks and Jets game, we'll have that for you early Monday morning. But Mike, is there anything you want to add before we get out of here?
Yeah, Instagram, or excuse me, YouTube, like, subscribe, and also I did make the Blue Sky thing. I haven't posted anything, but so how is it? Is it like an at? It's just an at name, just like Twitter. Is it? I'm sounding so old. So I think my thing is, if that's the case, because it has all this other stuff after it, but I think it's just the same as my
Yeah, I
Twitter.
don't like it either that it has the extra stuff, and that'll probably be updated later on. But for now, I know what you mean. Yeah, the Blue
Yeah,
Sky at
it
Mike
says
Dugard.
yeah, it says well at Mike Dugard .bsky.social. I don't know.
Yeah,
Is it
as long as you give them the at name, like it's Twitter, they'll be able to find you.
okay? All right, cool. I'll figure that. I gotta learn this a little bit more before I share on X or Twitter or whatever that I've made this account. But you guys are getting it known first. You guys know I have I have Blue Sky. I'm gonna figure it out over the weekend. As I fly for a long time to get to New York / New Jersey. But thank you guys for all the love and support. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Enjoy some time with the family. And we will catch you guys on our post-game show. Peace.